I'm Izzy, and welcome back to Willie Mae TV. We're here to get the day started off right and maybe learn a few things along the way. So once again, we're going to warm up with an exercise called beat breathing. I'm going to play a beat, and you follow along with me as we take in a deep breath through the nose, hold the breath, let it out through the mouth, and then hold that. Ready? Here we go. Ready? In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. A few more times. In. Hold. Out. Hold. One more time. In. Hold. Out. Hold. Nicely done. I feel more grounded already. So continuing our celebration of Black Futures Month, I want to tell you about a super cool style/genre/movement/way of life called afrofuturism. Afrofuturism is the intersection of imagination, spirituality, technology, and liberation. Cool, right? It's a way of imagining our futures through a Black cultural lens. And by imagining our futures, we create the life of our dreams. Speaking of Afrofuturism, this week we're spotlighting the artist Janelle Monáe, one of my favorite artists. Janelle Monáe has impacted R&B with an energized, retro-futuristic sound wrapped in theatrical science fiction concepts. She fuses soul, funk, hip-hop, and new wave, among other genres, into complex EPs and albums that elaborate on themes of oppression, identity, and liberation, particularly as they relate to race and sexuality. About her first EP, Janelle said, "I chose an android because the android to me represents the other in our society. I can connect to the other because it has so many parallels to my own life, just by being a female African-American artist in today's music industry. Whether you're called weird or different, all those things we do to make people uncomfortable with themselves, I've always tried to break out of those boundaries. The android represents the new other to me." I chose that quote because I just relate to it on such a personal level. So to listen to her songs, go to Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or anywhere else you listen to music. And to learn more about her, go to her website, jmonae.com. Before we move on to our topic of the day, I think it's time for another dance party. Let's do it. All right, you ready to dance it out? Let's do this. That's it, 1 minute. Okay. Alrighty, on to today's topic, concept albums. What's a concept album? It's an album that's unified by a theme, which can be instrumental, compositional, narrative, or lyrical. But it's not just about an album with a theme. It has to have a specific and purposefully made connection across the entire span of the album, all the songs. So an example of a concept album is The Archandroid by Janelle Monáe. This album actually consists of chapters 2 and 3 of an ongoing sci-fi saga that began in 2007 with Janelle's debut EP, Metropolis. About that album, she said, "When I created Metropolis, I had this quote in mind. The mediator between the hand and the mind is always the heart. I wanted to represent the heart." So the epic series follows Janelle's alter ego, Cindy Mayweather, right here, who's an android sent to free the citizens of the future city Metropolis from the oppressive regime of the Great Divide, a regime that uses time travel to suppress freedom and love. Monáe called Cindy the mediator between the oppressed and the oppressor. It's a beautiful concept for an album, and of course the album itself is fantastic. So, we are going to do an exercise that I'm super excited about. We're going to create our own concept albums. So we're going to think about an important lesson that we've learned at some point in our lives and make an album about it, with the intention that after we make it, we're going to time travel and present the album to our younger selves. So we're teaching our younger self something through this album. We're going to do a speed round of this exercise because of time constraints, but I really encourage you to do it again in the future and give yourself some more time because it's a super fun exercise. So, for now, we are just going to answer the following questions about our album. What is the title? What is the main lesson? What does it sound like? Is it loud or soft, fast or slow? What kind of instruments are playing in it? So on. And what does the cover art look like? Ready? Let's go. Here's my concept album. It's called You Got This, in all caps. The main lesson in the album is to be kind to myself and to trust myself to work through harder times. For the sounds of the songs, they've got fun beats that start off slow and mellow early in the album, but they build to something high energy. There's bass guitar in the background, electric guitars, some shakers, and a part in the middle where the beat really drops and it's impossible not to dance to. And the cover of my album would be splashes of paint. Blue, yellow, black, white, and red. Splashes that suggest that the artist didn't overthink it. They just went for it, threw some paint down, and saw what happened. So concept albums are such a unique way of storytelling and self-expression. And the point of this exercise is to reflect on how we've grown and think about the things that we would tell our younger selves if we could, and how we would tell it. I've got a few updates about things happening at Willie Mae Rock Camp. For one, we have a new space in Gowanus, Brooklyn. We are so excited to have this space. It's really cool. Our programs are still currently online, but we are very much looking forward to being able to program in person safely soon. Another thing, in addition to programming around rock bands and rock music, we will have a new suite of year-round programming called Willie Mae Future Sounds, programming that integrates STEAM, science, tech, engineering, arts, and math, social justice, and music technology that's informed by the philosophy of afrofuturism. It sounds super cool, and I gotta say, you have to check it out. So for more info about these programs and what's happening at Willie Mae Rock Camp, check out our website, wmrc.org. For the shout out of the week, we want to say hey to the Acoma Institute in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's an awesome community pop-up school for Black and Afro-Indigenous girls, and we're going to be doing a workshop exchange with them in the near future that we're super pumped about. Let's wind up the same way we did last week with some intentions for the day. So here's our daily intention prompts. What's one thing you're going to do to challenge yourself today? Maybe in school or socially, or what's one way you're going to push yourself? And what's one way that you're going to celebrate yourself? We'll take 1 minute right now and just write down your answers. You can share your answers with your friends or family, or just keep them to yourself. My answers for today, I am going to challenge myself by reaching out to a friend that I haven't talked to in a long time. It can be hard to restart a conversation when there's a lot of distance between us, but I miss them. I'm gonna reach out. And I'm going to celebrate myself by writing down things I like about myself on some pieces of paper and hiding those pieces around my house to find them later. I've never done this before, but I read about it online and I thought, oh, that sounds super neat. So I'm gonna give it a shot. And that's my intentions for the day. I wanna remind you to share your stuff with us. If you've got an art project you made or a video that you did that you're really proud of, or you wanna make the beat for a beat breathing exercise, or maybe you wanna share your concept album, email us at wmrc@williemaerockcamp.org and we'll feature it here on an episode of WMTV. Like last week, we're gonna close out with a video that was made by campers. So this group created a futuristic song and animations about what their lives would be like in the year 2068. And the result is very cool. So enjoy the video and stay lifted, because seriously, you rock.
2068. things are better in 2068.
2068, we have to have a change. Control the damage of our rage. Between the ill of the people and the ill of the thoughts, we'll all have a medicine that will change the game. No need to put on the blame. Screaming each other's names, watching cars pass with grace. We'll let it go at 2068.
2068. 2068. 2068. 2068.
Most of our world is unknown, all of the pain catches up today. In 2068 we'll be all grown up. Maybe we're half a luck, or maybe we'll be stuck in the never-ending battles of blessings and curses.
So far things have been a mess, but something comes up to save the rest, and it's for the best. But we all have to be our guests to stay in our nest, and it's time to retaliate. So things are better in 2068.
Yo, think about the past, the good times, yet the rain and the shine. Even though the world was compromised, everything now is rainbows and butterflies. Just tiny mistakes that are possibly mine. We had each other but couldn't get together. Now we roam the streets and the grass is green. The ill of the people and the ill of the mind. Seems that hope will be hard to find. Our mental state feel like it's whipped to a time, unable to cross this invisible line. Staying together has never been so hard. Now that we have been split apart, talking through a screen of glass. Hard as now, been to relax. Every step we take always seems to go backward. Every action we make always ends up nowhere. Compared to this, the future seems great. Much better it is in 2068.
So far things have been a mess, but something comes up to save the rest, and it's for the best. But we all have to be our guests to stay in our nest, and it's time to retaliate. So things are better in 2068.
2068, we have to have a change. Control the damage of our rage. Between the ill of the people and the ill of the thoughts, we'll all have a medicine that will change the game. No need to put on the blame. Screaming each other's names, watching cars pass with grace. We'll